I'm Pamela Fehr, and this is my speech. Everybody has something they're scared of. For some people, it's spiders. For other people, it's public speaking. Each individual has a certain obstacle that they must live with, but it is how you handle that obstacle and overcome it that defines who you are. It's 2004 again, and I am 8 years old. My brother and I are just entering the Winter Show building in Valley City after trying to tiptoe and dodge all the mud and slush outside. We head over to our favorite attraction, the rock climbing wall. We approached the workers and they strapped my brother and I up into our harnesses. They tied them securely around our waists and our legs, then connected us to the bungee line that would prevent us from falling and lower us safely and slowly to the ground when we reached the top. "I'll race you," he called out behind as he started the ascent to the top of the wall. I confidently started climbing after him, but I had only climbed up 10 feet before my hands started sweating and my breathing began to speed up. I told myself not to get scared and that I needed to keep climbing if I wanted to catch up with Pete. I began to climb again, but with more caution and deliberation than I had climbed last time. I managed to rise another 5 feet. This was only halfway up the wall, and I tried to urge myself on to finish climbing the rest of the way to the top. Maybe, if I look down, I will realize that I am not that high up. Looking down was a big mistake. I clung to the wall harder than I had before, and I froze. My breathing stopped, and images of certain death began running through my mind. I began to picture the rope breaking, or the wall tipping over, or me falling and slipping out of my harness, even though everything was perfectly safe. I clung to the wall for 10 minutes before the small crowd of people below me convinced me to unstick myself from the wall and slowly start edging myself toward the bottom of the rock. Pete had already reached the bottom by now, but instead of persecuting me and telling me how much better he was, he encouraged me. He told me that if I kept practicing, I could be as good as him, and we could climb to the wall, to the top, together next time. Over the next couple years, I did practice. Each time I went a little farther and wasted a little less time clinging to the rocks. The hardest part of overcoming my fear of heights was training my mind mentally. I had to learn how to control my thoughts and how to reverse the negative ones. The first thing I had to do was control the urge to look down, which I knew would distract me by making me think how far away from the ground I was. Then I had to learn how to control my breathing so I didn't pass out and fall off the wall from lack of air. By taking slow, deep breaths, I was able to relax enough to think clearly so that I could realize the rope wasn't going to break and I wasn't going to fall out of my harness. Eventually, I made it to the top of the wall one day. I was so ecstatic, I almost forgot I was afraid of heights. Once I realized that climbing the wall wasn't so bad, I began to work up speed so I could put up a good fight next time me and Pete raced. Rock climbing isn't the only place I've used these skills. I use them in school and at home. Whenever I get frustrated, I remind myself that I need to relax and take a few deep breaths and refresh my brain so that I can go back to what I was working on with a fresh mind. It also comes in handy during sports. I play basketball and volleyball, which are team sports, so you have to rely on and work with other people. It can be frustrating when a teammate makes a mistake, but you also have to be aware of how they are feeling and what is happening around you. If someone makes a mistake, the team has to work that much harder to make up for the mistake. Being able to keep a clear head and focus on the positive aspects as a team has helped us grow closer together and work better so we can create better plays and make less mistakes. Facing my fear has taught me a lot of things. It has shown me to push through even though things are tough. It has also helped strengthen me mentally. In nerve-wracking situations, I am able to keep calm and think clearly so that I can attain my goals. This is a valuable lesson that I will use repeatedly through the years to come and will help me in my career and in my journey through life.